Hello everybody, my name is Althamir. Today we're doing yet another video in my fun build series. Today we're doing a build called the Warrior. Now what's unique about this build is there's no class abilities on either of your bars. Now to level up this class, I would suggest at least using, you know, class abilities just to level up, like put one of each on your bar and just level these up, and then you can take the skill points out if you want or leave them in for other builds, whatever. Now for race, I chose a Nord. The other two races that kind of fit that warrior, they hate magic kind of thing in lore is Orc and Redguard. Now you can do whatever race you want, of course, but I kind of went more the lore friendly route where Nord definitely leans into that category. And I chose Necromancer just because that's what my Nord was. Um, really, you can do any class. You can do it. I mean, there's nothing really that special. You can do just about any class with this um, build, thankfully. So for sets, first of all, for Mundistone, you do the Warrior. You could also do Lover, which does physical and spell penetration. You could also do, if you find that your recovery is a little lower than you like it to be, you could do, I think it's the Steed, which does recovery. Um, really kind of warp the build to how your playstyle is, but the whole idea behind it is they hate magic. So they don't use anything magical, even in sets. Okay, like even in sets, they don't have any proc sets that proc something unless it's non-magical. Now, what's non-magical? Well, that's an entire debate by itself. But like, say, this. Let's see. This guy should have. Okay, Celine's. This would be considered magical because it summons a primal spirit. This would be considered magical because it summons a web. You know, just anything with an effect. Even this summons poison balls to. You're throwing your poison balls at people. That's just wrong. Um, So anything really that has, like I said, like a magical effect. Now, what doesn't really count would be Belorgs because it's just a stat boost. Anything that boosts stats. Heartland Conquerors wouldn't count towards this. A lot of different sets wouldn't count towards this. Spriggans is fine. So the sets that I settled on are five. This is kind of a slept on set. This is a set that actually, um, next patch, considering the shields that Arcanist can come up with, this actually might be a set you guys might want to, we all might want to start considering. It's called Shield Breaker. Okay, 5-piece increase your damage done by 6%. This effect is doubled when attacking targets with a damage shield active. Okay, so that's going to be really big. Now the second set, well, before we get into the second set, I'm jumping the gun here. It's all medium because Shield Breaker's all medium, and Warriors tend to be tough and all medium. I don't know. I did a tri-stat for the two bigger pieces. I left that off of here, but you can do tri-stat here. Every piece is impen, but you could do well fitted if you find yourself dodge rolling a lot. This is more of a um, melee build, so considering that you really don't have access to any sort of armor, I think that's what this build really is. You're not going to be beefing up your armor. Not really, because that's magical, and yeah, I don't think there's anything that you can do. Yeah, because this one now requires 5 heavy, which you're not going to wear. So we do this to do major evasion. So you might want to change these to reinforced. I'm trying out impen, and I'm finding it to be okay. Monster set, I did one Balorg and one Celine, but you could do double Balorg here, and it works just as well, if not even better. Now, obviously, you want these to be purple, but purple mats are expensive, guys. Come on. Second set, I said I was Spriggans. I did do infused on these just to boost up the weapon damage, and add a little bit of recovery. And then this one I did recovery because I didn't really like where I didn't really like where my recovery was. So especially with me not having any sort of armor ability, it really I just thought of something and my mind trailed off. Sorry. Me not having an armor ability, it really helps to have a little bit of extra recovery so I can get away, dodge roll, whatever, what have you. I did Nernhoned Mace for penetration and damage, so I'm kind of covering both. And then dual wield is the back bar. Now, as you noticed, on a lot of these builds, I don't do what other people do. I don't have like a back bar set, and I'm trying to make this as uncomplicated and weird as possible. Like I try not to use mythics. I try not to use hard to get monster sets or anything like that. Now, a good monster set to use, which was the reason why I dozed out there for a second, is this one. This one is really great to have. Probably not in light. Is really great to have for this because it gives you major resolve at all times. So if you find your damage is okay, that you can do without what is it? About 300 300 weapon and spell damage. Then I would replace these with those armor that gives you that armor that you're missing. So instead of 506, 5.6, it'd probably be 5.3 buffed up. So that's not too bad, and you would have a little bit more armor. My spell and physical is at 15, because Nord's awesome like that. Um, Plus, you would have 2 heavy on your bar, which would give you even more. You lose even more weapon damage though, because instead of having 7 pieces of medium, you'd only have 5. So playing around with it, I like 5 medium. I'm going like a more of a pure damage build here because of this ability here. It gives me a damage shield and kind of save my butt in certain situations. Now, bar wise, let's get into that one. You have Dizzying Swing, Executioner, Carve, Crit Rush, Rally, Onslaught, Back Bar, Dual Wield. You can go bow if you like. I like Dual Wield. Um, we have Shrouded Daggers for anybody who's far away, and it also sets people off balance. Razor Caltrops, doing this for just the dot, but also because of Major Breach. You're going to be in close quarters, so people are going to be around you. So this really helps out with that, with damage, and then, like I said, in Major Breach too. This one, Deadly Cloak. We're not really doing this for the major evasion because I know this one does that too. We're not. I'm not an idiot here. We're doing this for the shrapnel. You could do the quick cloak if you want something like a catch up mechanic. You could do that as well. This one, vigor. Also, you get minor resolve, so there is some armor. 18 and 18. I forgot that it had minor resolve, but yeah. And then shuffle here too. And then the ultimate in the back bar is Thrive in Chaos, but that's just because there's not many, not many ultimate choices on the now just to cover what counts. Obviously, class abilities. If it even if it causes stamina, costs stamina, it has a magical animation, right? Now you can choose to be as strict or as non-strict, I guess, with this as you want. But I'm trying to be like, hey, like Nord, Orc, Redguard, they wouldn't like these things. So most of these are okay. All of these are okay. because they don't really have any magical effects to them really. Same thing with this here. This one, like, I probably wouldn't be able to use that. Fighters Guild, this would be okay. This would be okay, sort of, and this would be okay. I mean, this would be okay if you just didn't cast it. It's usually a passive anyway. This is okay, and this is borderline. I'd say you can if you want to. I'm not going to. No, this also I would say no because it does do a magical effect on the ground, as you know. If you don't know, I'll do it really quick here. I don't know why I came all the way over here. This is my house, by the way. Obviously, it's not like I'm in someone else's house. Go up, you freaking moron. So, yeah, so it does do a magical effect on the ground, so, you know. That is kind of a flex spot, but, I mean, there's not a lot of spells that aren't magical. These pretty much all are. That's borderline, but these pretty much all are. This one you could say you're spitting at somebody. I mean, to be brutally honest, you could just say, you're literally like hawking up a loogie and spitting at someone if you really wanted to turn this into a tank build instead. Um, this is actually okay. This is okay. This is okay. The ultimates in here. Well, not that one. These are all no. These are this one, and this one are good, and this ultimate's good. You know, what morph should I choose? Her on the heels. Enemies are feared because Necro doesn't technically have a fear. Um, so yeah, let's see. Oh, champion points. I'm experimenting with these. Um, I ch- I tried to go the whole like boneheaded meathead kind of thing where they would feel like a Nord would feel rally and vigors enough to healing. I need damage. So I did deadly aim, master at arms, untamed aggression, and exploiter. Now exploiter because I have two abilities that knock people off balance, and now this does 10% more damage. So in red, I did rejuvenation, boundless vitality, pain's refuge, and fortified because I'm missing that armor. And that's also why I chose Nord for this, not just because I mean I do have an orc and I do have a red guard, but they have the where is it? Yeah, right here. They increases your physical and spell resist. So if I don't do Mighty Tuned In, then I'll be fine. I'll be perfectly fine if I don't do it. Um, I think that pretty much covers it. For there's not much that's out of bounds for this. As long as it doesn't have a magical effect, you should be fine. Weapon damage fully buffed. You know, 5.6. Now, obviously, you could increase that with different sets or whatever, as long as it boosts, if you want to stay true, as long as it boosts just the stats. A really good set would actually be Heartland's Conqueror, because what that set does, uh, besides the fact that I'm sort of in love with this set, what it does is it increases the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 100%. So you could choose. So it means this Nurnhorn will be buffed up. This sharpened and this infused would be buffed up. It just makes things just that much better. That's another way you could go. So yeah, that's my warrior build. Like in case you missed it, for some odd reason, if you're just leveling this up, then I would say put at least one ability of each on your bar just to level these up to have some of these passives, because some of these passives are nice. You could do any class you want. You could do a Templar, Dragon Knight, any single class you want. You could save this and do it with Arcanist if you wanted to. Um, it's really, you know, really easy. Pet wise, yes, I've even the build includes pets. I would choose anything that isn't anything that's not magical. Like probably that wouldn't count. I think Daedric warriors typically don't like Daedra. You can if you want to, but mine doesn't. Anything from domestic is cool. If you don't have Catwell, you're missing out. Mount, same thing. Obviously, you don't want anything like magical. I went. What in the hell did I go with? I think I went with. Yeah, I went with the Ice Wolf. Because Skyrim. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. Oh, by the way, um, I forgot the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. However, people are going to take these to trials. No, they won't. But as a disclaimer, um, these builds are just for fun. They're not really made for hardcore end game stuff. You can do yes, you can do overland. Yes, you can do world events and world bosses and battlegrounds and PvP and all that stuff. But in terms of like end game, like no, speed run, no death kind of stuff, like top DPS stuff. Yeah, that's not what this build's for. So, ability altering weapons. I mean, like as long as you just boost the damage, it doesn't add an effect to anything. You should be fine. Poisons are also are fine as well. Um, at least in my opinion. So yeah. Oh, and for Cyrodiil, if you're gonna take this build into Cyrodiil, um, have at least now I don't have 28k health, so I'm kind of like contradicting myself here. But at least have 30k health. At least have 30k. There's a lot you could do to get to 30k. I'm just not using the food that I should be using. The food that's good, if you're like a sweaty, would be I don't have any of it, so I can't show it to you. But it's the bear haunch one, or you could do Jewels of Misrule. Those two are huge right now. Um, so yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really do hope you like this series. Um, it's a really fun series that I love doing. Yeah. On that awkward note, I'm gonna end the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun out there.